Há um novo rumor na internet, de que o Papa Francisco está prestes a revelar informações de que está havendo uma preparação para o contato alienígena em 15 de junho de 2015. De acordo com Daniel Sheehan, um estudioso de política estrangeira e do governo dos Estados Unidos, estamos prestes a receber um anúncio sobre a presença extraterrestre. Sheehan fez algumas declarações fantásticas. De acordo com ele, a Igreja Católica agora está ativamente se preparando para o desacobertamento sobre o contato alienígena com espécies de extraterrestres, altamente avançadas. Na conferência ele falou sobre aquilo que será um decreto papal encíclico histórico, clamando por nada menos do que o desmonte das estruturas de poder que estão destruindo nossa civilização e nos impedindo de unirmos à comunidade galáctica. O Papa Francisco causou grande comoção no ano passado quando anunciou que batizaria alienígenas. O ex-funcionário do Ministério da Defesa do Reino Unido, Nick Pope, disse ao site Neon Netly: "Não é nenhum segredo que a Igreja Católica se reposicionou sobre este assunto nos últimos anos. Eles sabem de algo? Eu duvido. Eu acho que eles somente estão tentando assegurar que se a comunidade científica anunciar a descoberta de vida extraterrestre, a Igreja estará preparada." Sheehan também descreveu o porquê do Papa Francisco querer evitar a magnitude de caos que tomou conta da Igreja Católica, quando Galileu anunciou que a Terra não era o centro do universo. Pelo que Sheehan descreveu, parece que a maior denominação religiosa da Terra agora está se mobilizando para o desacobertamento dos ETs. E você, acredita que a Igreja Católica sabe de algo e está prestes a nos revelar?
It's supernatural.
Hello, Sid Roth here. Welcome to my world, where it's naturally supernatural. Last week, we found out about these amazing prophecies buried in the Vatican. 900 years ago, what would happen to each pope all the way up to the last pope. On this show, we're going to continue, and we're going to talk about the Vatican's secret plans for welcoming an alien God with a small g under the reign of the last pope. A lot of my end-time thinking is the whole paradigm is changing in light of the Bible prophecy that you're bringing to us. Tell me about the Vatican Conference of a gathering of scientists to discuss extraterrestrial activity.
Certainly. In 2009, the Vatican sponsored an astrobiology conference.
And that means?
That is the study of life in space. Now, what makes that interesting is that we don't really know of any life in space, yet our universities have programs where you can study this. They had the top secular scientists in the world come to Rome for this conference in 2009. We're talking about, atheists, secular scientists, and the sort of topics that they're covering, things like shadow life, exoplanets.
What's an exoplanet?
An exoplanet is a planet that's outside of our solar system.
Okay.
So you have the top scientists in the world gathering in Rome for the Pontifical Academy of Sciences, an audience for the Pope to study life in space.
Speaking of studying life in space, how about life? I'll tell you what, very few Christians, Protestants, or Catholics understand what you're about ready to understand right now. But there are secret plans for welcoming. The Vatican will welcome in this alien from another planet as God. Tell me about that.
Well, Sid, when you look at Bible prophecy and it talks about a one-world government and a one-world religion, you see how divided the world still is. And, we have to think that something unprecedented is going to occur that would unite the world under one heading like that. Now, Ronald Reagan gave a speech to the United Nations where he said how quickly our differences would be resolved if we were faced with an alien threat from outside this world. I mean, this is in the 80s. He gave this speech in the UN. Now, if you look around the world, what people believe, I mean, statistics in the United States say around 50% of Americans already think that UFOs are aliens visiting the Earth. Now, there was a recent poll in the United Kingdom. More people believe in extraterrestrials in the UK than God, okay? And that's a fact. And so to me, the strong delusion is already here. The groundwork has been laid. And our hypothesis is these powers and principalities that Paul writes about in Ephesians 6, these demonic forces have seeded this idea into the world, so we are primed and ready for a deception.
Okay, but what makes you think the Vatican has planned to announce this?
Well, you know, they're having astrobiology conferences. They've made it intellectually virtuous to believe in these extraterrestrials. Their writings coming out of their theologians have pretty much made the argument that if you don't believe in extraterrestrials, then that is actually the heresy.
You talk about that the Vatican is going to reevaluate their position on basic Christianity. What do you mean by that?
Well, their theologians have written that they think that these entities will be evangelizing us, that they think the chances are that they're not fallen and we are, so that we would have to modify our beliefs according to their revelation.
So are they talking about setting up teams to evangelize humans and aliens? Is that what you're really talking about?
Well, if you get on the internet right now, you'll find
and baptize them?
Hundreds of articles from the Vatican astronomers talking about baptizing extraterrestrials. I saw that there was an emphasis on God being benevolent to the extent that they denied his holiness. Now, I think that we see this in this idea of pluralism, which is so popular in our culture, where all religions point to the same God. And this is a really acceptable notion in today's society. Like, to talk about hell or eternal punishment or the exclusivity of our Messiah, Yeshua, is the thing that most people don't tolerate.
But you see, all these things the Bible says is black and white. They've got to be watered down for there to be a one-world religion, for people to welcome in an Antichrist. I mean, what a setup. Even, well, one of the things that he prophesied that you just brought up is a lack of holiness, a lack in belief that there is a hell, a lack in belief that there's even a devil. And, you know, some of these things are surfacing right
Absolutely.
now.
I mean, I even quoted some of the Catholic theologians at Notre Dame who deny that Satan is a real personal power. I mean, they just see him as some sort of abstraction or metaphor for evil.
I'm interrupting this telecast with a special announcement. We have a new Pope, St. Francis. According to the Malachi prophecy, he had to be a Roman. Did you know that this new Pope's parents were from Italy, Roman? Not only that, he's the first Jesuit to ever be Pope. And as you've just heard, the Jesuits are involved with the aliens.